You're listening to Soap Dirt, the latest in television entertainment news.
Hey there, Days of Our Lives fans. We have got a special treat today, a whole 4 weeks ahead of spoilers. It's a sneak peek, and we're going to talk about Belle Black at war with Sami Brady, some cheaters busted, and EJ DiMera's life hanging by a thread. Will he live? Will he die? And who shot him? It's Belinda from Soap Dirt. Let's dive into all this, but please subscribe if you're not following us. So just to set the stage for this first spoiler about Belle and Sami, we have Roman concerned and feeling a little guilty about spilling the beans to Johnny that EJ, his DiMera daddy, is a rapist, just like Arnold Finnegar is. So turns out Johnny has been trying to reach his mom, Sami, but she has been dodging his calls. But clearly she knows she's needed because very soon Johnny's mom is back in Salem to see him, and she'll check on EJ, who remains in critical condition at University Hospital. By the end of this week, Chad is with EJ in his hospital room when his big brother has some sort of seizure and maybe flatlining. And then Kayla gives a dire update on EJ's status to Chad. And by next week, EJ still remains unconscious and in very bad, very critical condition. And if you remember, Belle Black just told her big brother Brady that, like him, she's got a DiMera addiction that she cannot shake. Belle is really into EJ, and it's not just about him being a hunk and hot in the sack. There's real feelings there. And then next week, the week of April 7th, Belle is at EJ's bedside at the hospital. And Belle is absolutely devastated over what has happened to EJ. She's sitting at his side while he remains unconscious, and Belle tells him that she loves him. And I'm sure that EJ would like to hear that, but he can't. But guess who does? Her big sister, Sami, is lurking at the door, and she hears Belle's big love confession made to Sami's ex-husband. So you can bet that Belle is not going to get a high five from Hurricane Sami or any sort of congratulations. I anticipate a big, nasty Belle versus Sami showdown like the last time she was in town and found out that Belle had been in bed with EJ. So fresh off of checking in on her ex-husband that was shot during this 4 weeks of April, Sami goes to check on her other ex-husband, Rafe, the one who was kidnapped and held captive by her other ex-husband, EJ, and his henchman, Arnold Finnegar, who once pretended to be her ex-husband. So it's messy, messy stuff for Sami. And she's feeling really bad that Rafe had to go through this trauma again with Arnold, and Sami's there to comfort her. And of course, bear in mind, Rafe just found out that Jada got frisky with Sean after she thought he slept with a stripper. Rafe is quite upset that Jada and Gabi didn't notice he'd been replaced by that idiot villain. So the good thing is that Sami's there to let him cry on her shoulder. And Rafe crying on Sami's shoulder turns into Rafe and Sami taking off their clothes, getting in bed, and doing the deed. And guess what? At some point during April, according to official Days of Our Lives spoilers for these 4 weeks, cousin Javi sees them in the sack together. So will Javi turn around and tell Gabi? And will one of them tell Jada? We'll see, because this week Sean comforts and upset Jada, and they might wind up back in the sack in April as well. Now, let's talk about a couple of breakups. First, remember, Holly Jonas told Tate Black to take a hike. She dumped him, allegedly, because he dimed out Doug 3 to Julie. Tate called up to tell her that Doug's grandson stole her necklace. But really, Holly was angry at Tate for a lot of things, and that was just the thing that finally made her snap. After Holly dumped Tate, of course, he ran over to get comfort from Sophia, his baby mama. And now we are heading into the end of the school year in Salem, and Holly, Sophia, and Tate are all high school seniors. With Holly kicking him to the curb, that leaves Tate without a date to the prom, and guess what? He asks pregnant Sophia, and she is thrilled to say yes. Tate's invitation gets her all excited, and Sophia is kind of falling for Tate all over again. And with all this confirmed for the 4 weeks of April on Days of Our Lives, I have to wonder if Holly's going to turn around and invite Doug 3 to go to prom as her date, because he's hot, she likes him, and she may want to rub it in Tate's face, especially when she finds out he's taking Sophia. Another couple dealing with a breakup seems to be Gabi and JJ. So right now, in this moment we're at on Days, they seem fine. They're dating, they're sleeping together. That's about to change during the month of April, because it looks like they're going to split based on these spoilers. Rafe and Gabi are both going to wind up as suspects in JJ's investigation into EJ's shooting. If you remember, JJ saw Gabi with a gun in her hand at the DiMera mansion, aiming it at EJ and threatening to kill him. And he made her put down the gun. So, of course, JJ can't ignore that, and he's going to have to consider that his girlfriend is a suspect in this shooting. Rafe is also going to be on the list of suspects because of what EJ allegedly did to him with the kidnapping and Arnold. And of course, Rafe planted that gigantic and not subtle camera. So we have to wonder how long until that footage comes. I don't know if that camera is going to show the shooter, because he was checking to see if it captured EJ in that chair. So all it may show is EJ being shot, but not the culprit. We'll see. So bottom line, when JJ has to question them and makes accusations, Gabi may get really mad and call things off with him. The reason that looks like it's on the table is there's a 4-week spoiler for the month of April in Days of Our Lives that says JJ makes an effort to win back Gabi. So that means they've obviously split. So that's the update for April on couples that break up. Now let's talk about some happy couples. For the moment, Xander and Sarah are happy, but we know things are about to turn bad for them. You may remember when Xander married Sarah, they never got a honeymoon because all the drama with his horrible mother and the hit and run. So coming up on their anniversary, Xander and Sarah are planning a trip to celebrate. But we got to wonder if they're even going to make it on the trip, because Xander's going to find out soon that Sarah has been conspiring with Philip and lying to him while she covers for his thieving brother that defrauded him. And that might put a little damper on that honeymoon trip. Sarah may lose her husband and find out the honeymoon is over this month. We'll see the timing on that. And finally, and this is not a terribly interesting spoiler, honestly, but it is part of the 4-week days spoilers from NBC. So we are told that Alex and Stephanie bask in their romance as Alex makes clear to Stephanie that she is the only woman in his heart. I feel like that's already where they are right now, so I don't know why that's news, but hey, it's what they gave us.
Thank you for being a loyal listener. Follow us wherever you get your podcast, because you don't want to miss the next episode. Soap Dirt is on all the major podcast platforms, including Apple Podcast, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and more.